The first male witch in history wasn't born. He was forged in the blood of the monsters he hunts. I'm Zan. Konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? And hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast and show where you can find various other social media sites. Just look in the show notes down below. And with that in mind, let's actually get to it because if you remember from the last episode, I spun that one that only the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated onto there reviewing a manga that, well, it's become very popular and everyone has been talking about it because this is a contender for the big three in shonen manga. And what am I talking about? Am I talking about something amazing? Am I talking about something weird? No, I am talking about that one, that only, Ichi the Witch. And this is a manga that's written by Osamu Nishi, the creator of Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, and illustrated by Shiro Usazaki, an amazing illustrator and artist who unfortunately a couple years back was involved in a scandal where her partner caused some problems. Just we're not going to get into that because we're talking about her rise from the top to this wonderful story. And what is this story about? Well, this is a unique story about a young man named Ichi, and he lives in a world which is a mixture of the past and the present because you have a lot of hunter gatherers and small villagers, but then you have the amazing witches. And Ichi, he's pretty much a really feral kid who's a hunter. And he wants to hunt everything, all animals possible that have a killing instinct. If something wants to hurt a human, he will hunt it. Everything from a evil stag to a wolf, and that's how he makes his living because he is a hunter. And most people don't want to deal with this guy who's amazing at hunting. He's just a feral kid who lives on Druid Mountain that lives alone. He is self-taught and kind of weird. But he brings a lot of good food, so the town does like him. And a lot of the kids like him too. They think, hey, why don't you move into the village? He's like, well, that's not my deal. My deal is that I am someone who wants to hunt. I love to hunt. And the reason why he wants to do that is because when he was a child, he was left in the woods abandoned with a knife. And you would think it was given to him so he could survive in the wild. No, his parents wanted him to use the knife to slit his own throat. But instead, what happened was when a wolf tried to attack him, he actually manned up, killed the wolf, and he's now has this instinctual ability to hunt creatures that are hurting things. And that's what he does. He hunts creatures that have a killer instinct. He won't hurt anything that doesn't have a killer instinct, but if he feels something hunting him, staring at him, he has this innate ability to attack it. And you're probably wondering, where does the witch angle come in? Well, it's pretty interesting because in this world, there are these creatures known as magics. And magics are these giant beings that are personifications or personifications of magical abilities. For example, you'd have a giant glowing orb of water that is the spirit of water, or one that's on fire that's the spirit of fire, or it's a kitsune who is the spirit of lightning. And what they do is they offer witches, who are people who are engaged, trials. And the deal is that if you're able to succeed and do this trial, you get lots of power. And one of the most powerful of these witches is a woman by the name of Discaris, and she's the Abysmal Witch. She's the most powerful witch in the world and one of the most powerful ranking members of this organization known as the Mantia Witches Organization. And like I said, what happens is that you are given a trial. If you defeat the trial, you gain the allegiance of the spirit, kind of like Pokemon, but not really. And what happens is that she is the best of them all. And it's now currently a cool trial that she's currently working on. Oh, and I did forget one last thing. Unfortunately, for some weird reason, only women are able to use this power. Why is that? We don't know. Do they explain it? Not really, but it's just like, oh, only women can use it. If a guy used it, it would never work out. It wouldn't be at all possible. Well, you can see where this is going. So what happens is that there is in the middle of the woods, Ichi has discovered this giant feral creature that is wanting to kill humans. And it introduced itself. It is the King Urido, who is one of the most powerful magics in the world. And Discaris wants to catch this creature. And it offers a challenge. It says, here's my challenge for you. You just have to pierce my heart. If you could pierce my heart, you get my ability. However, there's one tiny little problem. No woman can scratch my heart. That's how I've been made, and I'm indestructible. One thing he didn't realize was that at the same time as this trial's happening, Ichi is watching this, and he sees someone who's captured and hurt, and he does what he does best, hunts and kills a creature. And he ends up stabbing this creature in the heart. And what happens? Well, he ends up absorbing the power of this great, all-powerful being. And he's an anomaly now. He is a male witch in a world where there are no male witches. He's an anomaly. Technically, they should kill him, or they should do something to him, but he has the power. He can control it, and he can gather other creatures. More importantly than that, because of this, he also likes hunting these creatures, because a lot of these magics are nuisances. So, essentially, he's now a monster hunter. He's a monster hunter that's going to be hunting these creatures down and doing what he can to save the day. What else is going on? Well, you have to read to find out. But it's now he's someone who is not book smart. He's not really that bright, but he's an amazing hunter. So it's his perspective of all things. And more importantly than that, he discovers magic is fun. And all these women are like, why are you using your magic? All the girls are like, you can't use magic. You're a boy. And he's really good at it. Just it's that chosen one syndrome where it's like, he's the chosen male. But there is more going on. There's a prophecy involved, maybe that where he may destroy the entire world. We don't know. We have to read to find out. But this is that story. This is Ichi the Witch. And it is a addictive, fun, and fast series. I see why this is so popular. The story is well paced. The characters are unique. Like we have Discars, who is, well, she's called the Abysmal Witch, but her full title is the most awesome and powerful badass witch in the world. And that's how she acknowledges herself, and people believe it. So she is that amazing. She is that great. And there's a couple other witches. There's the Research Society, who are obsessed with this kid. They're like, oh my God, it's a boy. It's the first boy witch ever. We can do something with this. And then you have the Fashion Society is like, oh, we need to design something cool for you. Also, we need to take your measurements. Wink, wink. And he, being a feral boy who lives in the woods, has no idea that they're flirting with him. It's like, okay, you can take my measurements. And they're like, oh my God. Because he's a cute kid who's like kind of has this feral thing going for him. And that's what this is about. His design is kind of weird. I like the fact that his staff, his wand is his knife that he uses to hunt with. So it's his personal item, it's his totem, it's his anthem. And I do like that fact. The art is great. Like I said, her artwork is spectacular. Shiro Usazaki is one of these artists who just does the best they can. And this has that Iramakun feeling where it's the character who's going to be overpowered, but they're not in control of their power. First time he does a spell, he's knocked out for 3 days. So he's not the I know magic and I can do everything possible. And this is not the Mashal, I'm faking magic. It's he can do magic. He just has to figure out how to do it and do his own march his own beat. And I see why this is so popular. It is well written. It is dynamic, and I can't wait to see where this is going. I'm really hoping there is not a fighting tournament arc, but we're gonna have to wait and see where it goes. Is it a little crazy with the whole gender thing? A little bit, but overall, it is a great story. It is well written. If you haven't read this yet, definitely check this out. It is exceptional. And because of that reason, well, let's be honest, I have to give this my highest rating of really, really, really cool. Read it now. It's got dynamic, stunning artwork. It's got a unique hook with the fact that this is the first male witch ever. It's got some great character relationships, especially between Discaris and Ichi, and then Ichi and of course Aurora, who's still alive. He's actually like kind of like the evil spirit on his shoulder who wants him to kill all the witches. Be like, if you join me, I'll kill you all. And he's like, no, we're not doing that because I sense that you're still evil. So he's kind of got this kind of like Turbo Granny, but more screwed up than that. Then we have the intriguing magic system where you have to catch the magic and then you learn it. This is similar to a series I read a long time ago called the Bartimaeus trilogy, where in order to do magic, you had to catch jinn and infuse them into objects, and then that object was your magic ability. You wanted to do a fire spell, you had to catch a fire jinn and put it into like a lighter. So kind of cool. And also the mythology behind it is very high stakes. This is not it's all fun and games. No, it's very dark. And I love that. The only bad thing is that this is overloaded with so many familiar tropes that have been done over and over and over again, and that misogyny is a little much. But the tropes in this are it's the chosen one. You have the gender locked magic system where only a certain a certain gender can do this, but now it's flipped. And then we have the reformed feral child because Ichi the Witch is essentially the super feral child. Think everyone's favorite hunter from Demon Slayer with a boar head. And he's kind of like that, but just a little more, well, contrite and a little more understanding. Well, I digress. But anyway, if you like this, if you don't like this, let me know. Leave a comment down below, or you can email me personally at Zan, that's XAN@Spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases for the week. First off, we've got The World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated to another world as an aristocrat, Volume 8. This is the light novel. Then we've got Wisteria, Wand and Sword, Volume 11. We've got We Can't Do Just Plain Love, Volume 4. Wandervogel, Volume 1. Virgin Knight, I Became the Frontier Lord, in a world ruled by women, Volume 2 of the light novel. Victoria of Many Faces, Volume 3. The Vexations of Shut-In Vampire Princess, Volume 10. Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, Book 2. Thou Is My Knight, Volume 1. This is the interesting light novel. We have This Is the Wizard's Secret Weapon, The Dragon Girl, Volume 2. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Volume 22 of the light novel. Tease Me Harder, A Sweet and Kinky Romance, Volume 2. The Small Animal-Like Lady is Adored by the Ice Prince, light novel 4. Silent Reading, Mudo, Volume 2. Secrets of the Silent Witch, Another. Scattering His Virgin Bloom, Love Frenzy, Volume 1. Sakebu Bisco, Volume 10. Ripples in the River, Volume 2. Reincarnated into a game as the hero's friend, Novel 6. ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, a Short Stories Collection, Volume 4. Rainbows After Storm, Volume 8. Rai, Volume 3. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Volume 4. Please Look After the Dragon, Volume 1. Playing Death Games to Put Food on the Table, Volume 5. Otaku Gal, Volume 1. Orca, Volume 6. The Only Thing I'll Do in a No Boys Allowed Game World Reincarnated as a Yuri Ship Sinker, Volume 3. Once Upon a Witch's Death, the Collection. Not So Shoujo Love Story, Volume 3. No God in Eden, Volume 3. New Game Plus, After Defeating the Last Boss, Volume 1. Natsumi Wants to Blossom. Nagase Natsunagi Still Wants to Be a High School Girl. The Detective's Already Dead, Ordinary Cases, Volume 2. My Quiet Blacksmith Life in Another World, Volume 3. My Isekai Life, Volume 28. Moscow 2160, Volume 1. Matsume I Love Monster Girls, Volume 5. The Misfits of Demon King Academy, Volume 7. Mao, Volume 23. Lilia's Pregnancy Spells The World's End, Volume 1. Level Up with the Gods, Volume 2. Let the Grieving Soul Retire, Volume 10. Canon the Sorcerer Can See, Volume 5, light novel. It's Tough Being a Necromancer, Volume 1. Izak, Volume 5. Isekai Tensei Recruited to Another World, Volume 4. The Irregulars at Magic High School, Volume 28. I Can't Stand Being Your Childhood Friend, Volume 2. How I Met My Soulmate, Volume 6. How a Realistic Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, Omnibus Number 6. The Holy Grail of Eris, Volume 11. He Craves to Be Teased by His Famous ASMR Streamer, Volume 1. Hyatt the Combat Butler, Volume 47. Gushing Over Magical Girls, Volume 8. The Greatest Wolf of My Life, Volume 2. A Good Day Starts with Cats and Books, the novel. God Games We Play, Volume 6. Girl Crush, Volume 5. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Volume 14. First Love Reunion. Exquisite Blood 3, The Heretic Omiyoji. Even a Replica Can Fall in Love, Volume 4. Twisted Wonderland, the manga, Book of Octave Navio, Volume 2. The Detective Is Already Dead, Volume 11. This is the light novel. The Contract Between a Spectre and a Servant, Volume 5. Then we have Catalog of Wonders, Volume 4. Camping, Fire Cooking in Another World My Absurd Ability, Omnibus 4. This is the light novel. Bliss, Volume 7. The Beast King, Master of Medicines, Volume 1. Battle Angel Alita, Mars Chronicles, Volume 11. This one was out of the blue. A Sentence of a Bookworm, I'll Do Anything to Become a Librarian, Part 4, I Want to Save the Royal Academy Library, Volume 2. A Man Who Defies the World of BL, and last and certainly not least, that was Volume 3 of A Man Who Defies BL. Last not least, we have A Horasan is Indecipherable, Volumes 1 to 2. So these are the manga releases for the week. We've got some really cool ones. We've got some really bad ones. And some unique ones. For me personally, my top 5 are going to be The Beast King, Master of Medicines, Volume 1. A Good Day Starts with Cats and Books, Volume 1. It looks really pretty. It sounds like a great story. Moscow 2160. I'm hearing a lot of good things. It sounds similar to Metro, so we'll see how that goes. Otaku X Gal, the anime just dropped, and the anime's been fun, so I wonder if the manga is going to be as good or if it's going to be less fan servicey. And then as my highest pick for the week, it's going to be Thou Is My Night, Volume 1. This is a non-isekai fantasy series that looks really good. So these are my manga choices for the week. So which one are you most excited about? Let me know. You can email me, zanspiraken.com, or comment down below. And before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this show. Every email I get, every comment, every new subscriber gives me more motivation to keep doing this. So thank you so much. Keep watching and keep enjoying. And just let me know what you think, because I love doing this. I want to do so. I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and large print manga. So thank you so much for letting me do this. I love doing it. More importantly than that, if you're watching on YouTube, I have changed the setup a little bit. I'm still working with lights. I'm getting some new lights in to make things look a little better, because a lot of people were complaining I looked really grainy and really blurred out. So I've been messing around with the sights and whatnot. So apologies on that. In another note, if you are in the North Carolina area, next week is Ichibancon. That is going to be from the 13th through the 15th. Yes, during Valentine's Day weekend. I'm going to be running 2 panels. One panel is going to be at 11 o'clock at night. That is going to be main characters over 30. I'm not old. I've got some new ones, especially with Taijima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. That series is insane, and I love it. And the fact he's going to be one of my front runners for best characters over 40 or over 30. And then last and certainly not least, the next morning at around 10 a.m. or sorry, 9 a.m., I'm going to be running Manga 101, Introduction into Manga. This is an update on my old panel, which is Intro to Manga or Manga's Anonymous, How to Become a Manga Addict. So this will be a lot of fun. If you want to check that out, it is at Ichibancon in Concord, North Carolina. I will be there. I'm excited to see everyone. And if you check out the podcast, definitely let me know what your thoughts are. And I might shout, yeah. Also, if you do go to the panels, see me after the panel with a list for your manga list from the Wheel of Manga, what you want to see me review. Just remember, I have reviewed over 616 mangas in this podcast life. So yeah, we've been doing this a while. Anyway, so let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, because I know you're excited for us, and it is the most popular thing that I do on this show. And what are we talking about? We are talking about that one, that only. The Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. And what I've done is I've timed manga titled each 10 slots. We're going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, that's the manga I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 617. And we've got a couple of re-releases. We've got some other weird series, but let's spin and see what we're going to review the next episode, shall we? Number 5, City Hunter. So, in the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing the new omnibus for one of the oldest mangas that we've talked about in, well, the show's history. I mean, the last time we did this was all the way back in, actually, when was the last time we did this? Let's see. I reviewed City Hunter all the way back in episode 100 and I think 4. Confirming beforehand. Yeah, all the way back in 100. Oh no, 102. And it wasn't, I didn't review it. It was actually Cal reviewed it all the way back then. That's crazy. So all the way back to episode 102, Cal reviewed this. He's one of the older co-hosts. If you go back in time, old friend. Yeah, but so we'll get my opinion on City Hunter. So this is actually my review of it. So we'll see if it's as good as the anime series that I hype out so much. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Well, we'll talk about the next time. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this and I hope you enjoyed the episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga. I will see you later.